All right, let's talk Meg Thee Stallion. One of the things that jumps out with her chart for me first is that opposition between her sun and her moon. See, whenever you have an opposition in the sun and that moon, that means the way you think and the way you feel are not in harmony. And it could be through a semi-sextile, a square, or an inconjunct, so it can happen several different ways. Or the one that she has is an opposition, which means that her sun and her moon are 180-degree opposites, okay? So her sun sign, Aquarius, and her moon sign, Leo, are what's called an opposition, which means they look directly across from each other in the zodiac. So Meg likes to, walk to the beat of her own drum. She's an Aquarius. She likes to do her own thing. She goes against social norms. She doesn't necessarily want to be the leader, but she's a natural leader. The Aquarius is not necessarily consumed or wanting to be the leader of the crowd, right? Hers being in house 10 also means that she has issues with structure and rules. So as much as she likes to do her own thing, part of her evolution and her thinking process is to learn how to exist within structures, how to exist within rules and things like that, to be a person of her word, do what she says she's going to do. Well, her moon, although the sun is not attempting to lead the crowd or lead anyone, her moon is in Leo, and it needs to be the center of attention. Now, the moon falls in its natural house, which is house 5. Well, for the moon in Leo, that's the natural house of Leo, house 5, which is what makes her such a fun person. Like, she is a lot of fun. This is one of the reasons why she, has a lot of people that like to be around her. She just is a person who you can have a great time with. But as much as she doesn't want to mentally be the center of attention, her moon cannot help being out of the limelight, meaning that when she has people around her, she's used to being the child or the friend that gets all the attention. So her being as tall as she is, her being built the way she is, naturally garners attention. Her build is coming from that rising in Taurus that she has. So that naturally garners her attention, and that's where she's comfortable. And in fact, you'll notice that people with the moon in Leo, they generally have to work through a lot of jealousy issues. There's a lot of issues with other people getting attention. Now, Megan, when it comes to her love life, so we already know that when it comes to her emotions, in order for her to feel stable and vulnerable, she needs a lot of attention, okay? A lot. And other people being around who get attention is not good for her. This is a jealousy issue that she has to really work towards, right? She has to really learn how to allow other people's space to be great and understand that she can't be the center all the time. And on top of that, her Venus being in Capricorn, that Venus in Capricorn can rush into wanting to have structure where there is none, meaning that she can meet a man, and because of the whimsicalness of the Aquarius sun and Aquarius Mercury, and the fun aspect of the relationship with the man that she just met, she can rush to get into a relationship with a man prematurely because that Venus in Capricorn needs structure. It wants structure, right? It wants to put a title on something so that it knows how to exist within that relationship. So she can find herself getting into relationships with men that she's known for a very short period of time, all because in order for her to feel comfortable and move towards love, she needs control. And that control that she needs is based off of fear. And that fear is about getting hurt or, being taken advantage of. Even when it comes to her base sexual instinct, her Mars is in Leo. And we're going back again to this is conjunct her moon in Leo. So fun, whimsicalness, praise, adoration, being wooed, being chased, all those things is what makes her feel good. It makes her sexual energy heightened when she feels like she's being praised or given attention and things like that. It's a very self-centered aspect here. And so the lesson becomes for her is to really learn how to put some of that away. Even in today's atmosphere where, with the type of life that she leads, being around men that can afford certain things can be a big trap for her. Because although she can afford the same things herself, men who constantly spend money on her, constantly take her on fun trips, things like that, they could mean or could be no good for her. But because this fun element is there, she can find herself jumping in too quickly and not paying attention, all because they're lining their attention towards her. So she really has to be careful here, because the need for ego stimulation is so big within her chart that it can lead to her own destruction and heartbreak, heartache, and sexual exploitation. Now, Megan, she also has a North Node in Scorpio. Now, if you follow me again, you've seen me talk about the North Node a lot, because it's one of those things that I concentrate on because people don't talk about it enough. The North Node represents the North Star. It's your direction for emotional and spiritual stability and ascension. It's the path that the divine has for you. So when you see that in your chart, it also tells you why certain things are like a broken record in your life, why certain things keep going on and on and on and on, because you're not learning the lesson. So you'll see this is where your emotional and spiritual instability will be coming from. Hers is in Scorpio. Scorpio is a very interesting yet complex sign to have the North Node in. It means that she's literally learning how not to be in control of everything, and that instability is necessary for stability, meaning that she has to learn how to be uncomfortable. She has to learn that everything is not within her control. The more she tries to control things, the more problematic her emotions and her spiritual stability are. She just won't have it. So anything that she's trying to control, when she sees it in her life, she doesn't want to let go of things. She needs proof. She doesn't have faith in the divine. It's I. What can I do? How can I control this? I don't want to move. I've been here all this time. I don't want to let this go. She's learning how to let go, how to be more in line with her intuition. With that rising in Taurus, which is the 180-degree opposite, it's very interesting because her natural movements, how she shows up, who she is literally in opposition to her own emotional and spiritual stability and ascension. She's learning how to be stable, how to be in control, how to be hardworking, how to see things through. But in the other phase of her life, she's learning how to let go, how not to be in control. So for her, even with this counseling, making sure she's getting the birth chart, consultations and analysis, learning things that are hitting truths within spirituality become important. If she gets into esoteric understandings, learning starts to get away from the religious aspect of Christianity and get into more of the Gnostic aspect and ancient teachings, it'll do a lot of good for her in her life. But the more that she stays rooted in things that are based in control, it actually moves her away from the spirituality and the mental, emotional stability that she may desire.